What would happen if hundreds of warships crashed together in one of the largest naval battles the world had ever seen? And could a single day at sea really decide the future balance of power across the Mediterranean world? In 1571, fear spread across Christian Europe as the mighty Ottoman Empire continued expanding its naval power across the Mediterranean Sea, controlling key trade routes, capturing islands, and threatening coastal cities with massive fleets of war galleys filled with elite soldiers, cannons, and experienced sailors. While kings, popes, and commanders across Europe worried that if Ottoman dominance continued growing unchecked, entire regions could eventually fall under Ottoman control. To stop this growing threat, a powerful alliance called the Holy League was formed by Spain, Venice, the Papal States, and several Christian powers under the leadership of Don John of Austria, a young commander suddenly placed in charge of one of the largest combined naval fleets Europe had ever assembled. While on the other side, the Ottoman fleet, led by experienced admirals, prepared confidently for another victory after years of naval success. Then came October 7, 1571. Near the Gulf of Patras, close to Lepanto in modern-day Greece, more than 400 warships moved toward each other across dark waters beneath smoky skies, while thousands of soldiers, sailors, archers, and cannon crews prepared for brutal close combat at sea. And unlike later naval warfare fought from long distances, this battle would become terrifying hand-to-hand combat, where ships rammed directly into each other, soldiers boarded enemy vessels with swords and guns, and entire decks exploded into fire and blood within minutes. But the first lesson from Lepanto was already becoming clear. Even the strongest empire can face resistance when divided rivals unite against a common danger.
As the fleets closed in, the sea erupted into chaos as cannons thundered across the Mediterranean and massive wooden galleys slammed into one another, while smoke covered the water so heavily that many sailors could barely see beyond a few ships ahead. And all across the battlefield, soldiers fought desperately with swords, muskets, pikes, and firebombs, while burning ships drifted between collapsing formations, creating one of the deadliest naval clashes in early modern history. At the center of the battle, Don John of Austria led the Holy League flagship directly toward the Ottoman command vessel in a brutal struggle for control, while Venetian ships unleashed devastating cannon fire and Spanish infantry boarded enemy vessels in savage close combat. And despite fierce Ottoman resistance, several key commanders were killed during the fighting, weakening communication and organization across the Ottoman fleet as Christian forces slowly gained control of the battlefield. By the end of the day, hundreds of ships had been destroyed, captured, or sunk, while tens of thousands of sailors and soldiers were dead or wounded across smoke-covered waters filled with wreckage and burning debris. And although the Ottoman Empire remained powerful afterward, the Battle of Lepanto became a symbolic turning point because it shattered the myth that Ottoman naval expansion could never be stopped. While across Europe, church bells rang in celebration, and the battle was remembered as one of history's greatest naval victories. But beyond religion and politics, the deeper lesson of Lepanto is about unity, leadership, and adaptation during moments of fear and uncertainty. Because history repeatedly shows that even powerful empires can be challenged when rivals set aside differences and work together against a common threat. While the battle also reminds us how quickly ambition, technology, and human conflict can transform entire seas into scenes of unimaginable destruction.